Hi guys, doing a review on this Titan Swiss bar today that I recently purchased. It's a really nice bar. I'm happy I purchased it. I actually ended up purchasing two different types of Swiss bars because I've been having some problems with my shoulder, in particular my left shoulder, and was kind of looking for some options that would be a little bit more friendly for my shoulder. At the 6 week point of breaking off of the last routine of workout that I've been doing, so I switched over now to dumbbell shoulder presses and dumbbell bench press to kind of give my shoulders a little bit of a break from them feeling sore and from what's been going on there, which is the research I found said it's a little bit more friendly to do them using the dumbbells. And then did a little bit more research and then started coming across the Swiss bars and hearing a lot about how that's also really good um, for your shoulders too. So something I found though through doing all my research, that basically we have a bar like this from Titan, and this is the only company I found that has a bar with this type of an angle on it. And then I also bought this type of a Swiss bar too, which is a little bit different than this other Titan bar. Titan also makes a bar just like this, but it doesn't have this middle piece here. And the reason I actually bought this bar was because of that middle piece. When you're doing shoulder presses, I found that this is a pretty big bar, and if you look at the size of these, you can see how big the Titan bar is here. From the point of view of how big it is, it comes down there to my fitness tracker, and if I hold my hand up here on this one, I'm going to say that this bar might be 1.5 to 2 inches smaller. So I think this one's going to be a little bit more user-friendly from the point of view of doing shoulder presses. And you can see it's got about a 4-inch cut in here, so it gives you a little bit of room for your chin to clear, and that's something that I also found very interesting about this particular bar. So going back to the Titan bar over here, one of the things I saw people ripping Titan for online was their welds, and I'm going to tell you, the finish on this bar is really nice, and so are the welds. If you look over here in this corner here, you can see this weld going around. Now, I did 4 years of welding in shop, and I did a little bit of it as a mechanic afterwards. And I don't think that these are bad welds. I think these are pretty decent welds, actually. And I would not even be able to weld anything close to this at all. I'm sure there's people that could watch this video and say, yeah, I can do a lot better than that. But these are pretty nice welds, if you ask me. You see in the corners over here how nice those are. We'll flip it down here so you can see this and how nice that's finished. And where the bar connects over here, you can see how nice the weld is there. And that's a really good weld right there from the point of view when you can see those little beads like that. Because the goal when you're welding is actually fuse the two pieces of metal together. And when you have a nice bead up like that where it looks like they're fused nicely together, that's a really nice weld. And for those of you that do weld, you know that trying to get into some corners like this, that's some really hard stuff to do and do a really nice weld there. So this is a really nice welded together bar. You can see the paint job that's on this one too. It's kind of a matte finish, but it's a very, it's not overly rough matte finish. It's just kind of a light roughness to the finish you can see there. Versus this other bar that I purchased here, the finish on this one, if you look at it, is a touch different. The matte finish on this one is a little bit heavier, and a little bit, when I say heavier, the bumps are a little bit heavier than the other. Something else I saw on another bar, which I didn't think was great. I mean, you can see how nice the grip is on this bar here. And then you can also see down here how nice this is on this one. It's got a nice grip on it. And I would think that this is probably the same grip they'd have on all their bars. So it's really nice. I actually saw a Swiss bar by another manufacturer that looked like the bars were actually smooth. And I don't know how much I'd like that. I've never used a bar that was smooth before, so I don't know how much I would like that. And it looked like it had absolutely nothing on it, so that might take some getting used to. Obviously, we have a nice Titan logo on here. I'll talk about collars really quickly here. This is a collar right here. And obviously, we're dealing with Olympic bar here. That collar came with my preacher curl bar there. And this one goes right on without any issues, locks right down. It's actually got some nice padding on the inside to grab the bar instead of some of the metal that's out there. And there you can see that pad inside of there. I consider that to be ideal. These metal ones that actually screw down, and just to be clear, none of these came with this bar. These both came from other sources. Actually, the metal one actually came with this bar up here. I don't care for metal on metal. From my point of view, I'd always rather have something that was either rubber or plastic on metal, because metal on metal scratches metal, and then you're going to end up with a whole bunch of little, marks going down the bar where it actually screwed in from different people tightening it, depending upon what weight you have on here. So not ideal. So, but I would recommend using the plastic ones like this, and you can buy those online. And this, like, so this is just one that came with my preacher curl bar there, and it locks right down without any issues, and it doesn't go anywhere. So I also checked it on this other bar up here too, and it fits on here just fine too. So, and you can just ratchet down on there. I mean, it seemed to slide a little bit on this one when I first tested it, but looks like it's pretty solid now. So it's just something to think about. With these shapes, I don't know what to expect from the point of view of weight shifting on them. When I use a normal Olympic bar, I don't usually have any problems with weight shifting on that. This particular bar I have over here has a lot of little ripples on it. It's a lot rougher than any bar I've ever used before. But it works great, and I've never had anything really go anywhere on it. I don't know what to experience with these bars, so I'm probably going to be a big advocate of using the collar on that until I get used to it. How does it sit? So this particular bench is actually a gold setup here. I'm going to take the one bar down really quick. Take the Titan and put it up on the rack there for you. Sorry for the shaking of the camera. It's just part and parcel for having one person shoot the video. So you can see how it sits on this rack right here, and it's perfectly fine there, and you can see how much room I have over here. This is something that I was kind of concerned about when I purchased it, because I saw some people for different ones saying different things. I was kind of like, I don't know how I'm going to feel, if there's a problem. So you can do the measurements on it, but there's plenty of room, and they have the data on their webpage, I believe. Worst case scenario, you can always call customer service and ask them for the numbers. So, but I'm happy with both bars. Looking forward to using them both. Like I said, I did a lot of research on them, so I'm going to talk about the angles really quick just to kind of bring you up to speed on that. So through the research I did, I think that this one's going to be the absolute best for doing bench press because of the angles, and also possibly shoulder presses. This one down here also for the shoulder presses, primarily because of the angles and because of the gap in the middle there, which I think is going to make it a lot more lower probability of hitting your chin. So that's why I really want to go for this one here. Now, you can see the angle on this one. I think this was 25 degrees. I'm not sure what the angle was on this one. The thing that I heard some not so great things about were the ones that had, I'll call it the 90-degree angle or the parallel angle, where it basically goes straight up and down like that. As I did research, I called 3 different companies to try and get a little bit of information on this. And the information that I got basically was talking about, the person I got on the phone that actually really knew what he was kind of talking about said that, these angles are basically good angles to be using. The problem with using the 90-degree ones, where it kind of goes straight up and down like that, was that he said it can put some extra stress on your shoulder, and he didn't think that that was an overly great thing. And as I was kind of thinking about it, I thought to myself, just think about doing exercise. If you try doing dumbbell bench presses with everything being kind of parallel as you pushed out, you could, I don't know how, I think that would put a lot of extra stress on your elbows, and he basically confirmed that. So that's why I decided to go with these 2 angle bars, because I think that the angle on these is going to be a little bit more elbow friendly. And I basically bought these because I had a problem with my shoulder bothering me, especially my left one, and just had to move away from something else, something that's a little bit more user friendly. Recently switched over to dumbbell bench press and shoulder presses, and first workout with that I felt really good, so I actually pushed it and did 6 sets of each and felt fantastic afterwards, and I've been feeling pretty good since I did that. So that's my review on this. I think it's a great product. I wouldn't have any problems ordering any Titan products, having gotten this one. Some people rip them, and I don't know about the other product lines, but the thing I saw people kind of ripping these about was because of the welds and kind of like the fit and finish of it. But I think that this is a beautifully finished bar. I think the only thing that would be better than this if the whole thing was chrome, and they made a really nice chrome bar. But that's it's not something that's offered, and for the price point, this bar I found on Amazon and on their webpage for $129. Amazon had free shipping, and so did their webpage. And then this bar actually went on sale while I was looking at it, from $129 to $103 on their webpage, and it wasn't for sale on Amazon. And I think $103 for a bar like this is a phenomenal deal. I would be more than willing to pay more than this for this quality of bar, but great deal. Something else I found too is that I created an account with Titan, and when I did that, I had looked at some of these things, and I kind of saved them because I was doing a lot of homework into my account, and I actually got an email from them saying, hey, you have some things that you were looking at, here's a 5% coupon to come and buy it. So for those of you that are interested in buying some Titan stuff, it's a great opportunity for you to save a little bit of money if that's something that's relevant. I hope they don't see this video and get angry at me for sharing that, but I assume they wouldn't have offered the discount if that wasn't the case. But it's just something where you could save a little bit of money on the purchase if you want. And there's no need for you to buy it through Amazon. I would actually rather deal with the manufacturer direct. It was the same price. They still offered the free shipping that was on Amazon. They're probably doing all the shipping through Amazon anyway, so it's from my point of view, if I could deal with the manufacturer and get the same price, I'd always rather do that if possible. So it's a beautiful bar. I wouldn't have a problem buying anything else from them. I think this is great equipment, and I actually did buy their adjustable bench press. I did a lot of homework on that. Same thing with that. A lot of people posted negative reviews online for their bench press. I'm looking forward to putting it together. I did a lot more research above and beyond just looking at the reviews, and even posted something on Amazon asking for people to kind of tell me how their experience has been. And everything that came back through me asking my questions was all positive stuff. I think I got either 3, maybe a 4th positive review back on that bench, and that's only $200 for a really nice adjustable heavy bench press. So I'm looking forward to putting that together and using that. Hope this video helps you out. If you want to post some questions below, or if you have anything that you want to talk about, I'll see if I can get back to those. I can't make any promises about that. Sometimes it's easy to do, and sometimes I'm too busy to do it, but I'll try my best to answer your questions if you have any. Thanks a lot, and I hope this video has helped you out. Have a blessed weekend.